Welcome to another fast video here on my channel, where we are going to be, of course, reviewing. It's probably going to zoom in, so just be aware. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer, issue number 1. Welcome back to the Hellmouth. I'm going to take it away because it glares and stuff, but it'll be popped up back there when we do certain sections and stuff. Because I think there's certain images, and I want to show you the artwork and things like that. The writers on this comic book, this is issue 1. You can buy it. It came out today. I pre-ordered it at the beginning of January, so I got it as soon as it got released. The authors are Jordi Belair, Dan Mora, and Rule Anguillo. I don't know if I pronounced the last one right, but they are new comic book writers. It is created by Josh Whedon, so that's their very top, and boom, it's the one producing these instead of Dark Horse. Dark Horse famously took on Buffy for, like, oh my gosh, 10 years? 11 years? Something like that. A very, very long time to finish out the Buffy arc, going from Season 8 to Season 12. We'll be covering those in my Buffy watch-along. These are not part of my Buffy watch-along. I just figured I'd give you these reviews as they come out over the next 4 months. I will also buy the compendium edition when it comes out for the first issue, and so we can look through it and stuff like that, and I'll do like an unboxing for that. But these will be read on my Kindle. I'm not buying these individual issues. But I did want to mention it, yeah. So, non-spoilery, I give this a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. I think if you're a huge Buffy fan, you're going to very enjoy this. If you don't know what Buffy is, and you're very intrigued by the idea of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and you've heard a lot of things, but you're not really into TV shows, but you really like graphic novels, I think this is a very excellent way. Buffy Season 8 was a continuation, and so I think you'd be really confused if you didn't know the characters right for this. This brings you into a whole new world, a whole new set of characters, with the same exact characters, but, like, it's different. Yeah. I'm going to be reviewing this as when the spoilers do pop up, I'm going to be reviewing this as a fan. I'm a very, very big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and so just know that I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons from this very thing into the old thing, and then hopefully as we go forward, I'll make it more of like its own thing, if that makes any sense. It's like if they made, let's say Buffy started as a comic, and they made it into a TV show. I'm reviewing this as it was a movie, and like a adaptation. This is like an adaptation. That's what I'm gonna review this as. All right, that's my non-spoiler exit. I mean, it was good. I really like the artwork and things like that. I'll very, very briefly show you what the artwork looks like. I'm just gonna very quickly show you an image. It's very, very pretty. I really, really enjoy the artwork. So, that's a very good reason why I think maybe it should be in your purchase list. It's also only $3.99 unless you wait until, I think it's May, when they do release it entirely, and you can buy the whole first arc. It's 4 issues. I'm going to review them. Jump into the spoiler section. So the spoiler section, I think we're going to go by characters, and then very briefly, right now, I'm going to talk about the whole thing in whole, and then we're going to go character by character, because every character means so much to me that I think I have a thing to say about them. So first things first, I'm going to talk about like a very brief summary of the whole issue. You start out with Buffy having a job. She sees these 2 people. They be Willow and Xander. Willow and Xander both get attacked by a vampire. Buffy comes and slays. Xander gets infatuated. They hunt down Buffy at school because Willow's like, oh, I'm pretty sure she's a student here. You see her in the library. You meet Giles. Giles is very, very, very rude. And, not funny rude, just rude, which is kind of odd, and, we'll get there. And so then, like, you know, they get kind of more interested. Then Buffy goes on patrol. You meet Joyce right before she goes on patrol. Comics are a very big part of it. I'll say that for kind of the end. And then Buffy learns that she tries to kill this vampire. This vampire has a special amulet on. This amulet is a part of the TV show, by the way. I'm not really sure who the character is, though, who's selling it. So we'll get there. This vampire goes back saying, hey, I want all your things, to this witch. The witch is like, oh yeah, you want all these things? Okay, sure, whatever. And like kills him because he's greedy. He takes back the amulet. And then we jump to a little bit later, where Will is like, hey, Buffy, hang out with us tonight. Buffy and Will hang out for the first time. You learn something interesting about Xander, which we'll talk about in the character segment of Xander. And then, is that it? I mean, that's not it. And then you get the final, like, I think, I want to make sure that's, like, right before the final little thing. Let's see here. Yeah. And then you meet Anya, who might be the actual character person before the witch. It could be Anya, now that I'm thinking about it. And I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Drusilla. You meet the big bad, which I'm assuming is Drusilla. Just because of the next issue brings in Spike and Drusilla, but that's, like I said, this is all spoilers, so it doesn't matter. We talk about that, and I'll make predictions and things like that at the very end as well. So, right, we'll start with the first main character, and that is Buffy. We'll go by the amount of times they're on the page. So we'll go Buffy, Willow, Xander, Giles, Joyce. So Buffy, is still trying to find her place. So Buffy has also only been here for 3 weeks. But a very, very big thing that's different from the TV show, like, they made a very big change, is that she's still friendly with her dad. I don't know why they made this change. It's such a big character development, how much her dad hates her, that I'm not really sure. They don't really touch on it much in the TV show, but it's a very big thing to the character, and the comics and things like that, and the dad's just not really talked about very often, so. But the dad's very discussed here, because we learned that Xander goes to LA for the summer. But Buffy already has her job. I wasn't really sure how I felt about this, and the more I think about it, I still don't really like it, due to the fact that I just don't understand at this very moment in her time when she's struggling to still understand patrolling and having a job. I just don't think they meshed well. I don't know. I don't really see that becoming a big thing, and I kind of hope she gets fired, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think. What else do I need to talk about? She is a Slayer, and she's a very confident Slayer. I do like the homage. There is an homage here, which I'll show you the whole thing of, to I'm just Buffy, like, I'm just like a girl. It's a very, very important one. It's what her thing is, and right before she dies, it's one of those episodes, the gifts and things like that. So I like that. I like her design. I like Buffy's design. I really like how they drew her hair length and things like that. I think they did it really, really well. Also, she makes funny, like, jokes throughout. Like, she's reading this book or whatever, and it's all punchy, stabby, and she's like, you don't punch like that, you can hurt your wrist, or something like that. It was pretty funny. There are puns and stuff when she stakes the vampires. For that one was a good one. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of any of the puns. That's one ugly necklace. Is your mother get it for you? I wasn't a big fan of that one, but it is a thing. And then, but I like the machete one. So later on, that same exact sequence, which I'll show you, it's a graveyard sequence, which I think it's like really well realized and stuff. Later on, that same exact sequence, she's like, I gotta get a machete. Where do I even get that to cut off his head? Because he has the amulet. So yeah, that's interesting. But overall, the character has a lot more development to come, and I'm very curious to see where they're gonna take the character. But also, yeah, no, I'm a little. Willow. I'm going to very quickly show you a character design for Willow. I think this one shows off her very, very well. That's Willow. Here, let's see if I can... Yep, okay, cool. I can totally zoom in. That, my friend, is Willow, and I don't like it. I hate it, actually. I absolutely despise it. Because there's just something about it. And it annoyed me when they released the character art 2 months ago, I think it was. It annoyed me how much they made her look like this. She's not a witch yet. She doesn't understand these, and so she's still this nerdy girl, and they took it away, and I don't understand why they took it away. I'm very curious to see where they're going to go with it, but I'm not a big fan, and honestly, she didn't really have any development here at all, and she's not really a character that particularly stood out to me. The biggest thing was her smart-talking humor. Her and Xander had quite a few of those. Xander is in her walker, and then there's one little section down here, which I reread a few times. I'm talking about which, because Will asked the question about which, and I'm just going to kind of read you very briefly. So, Buffy's like, I'm not really sure how they exist, but they're not like warts and stuff. And Willow's response is, I'm sure they don't have sacrifice to the dark world. Some are probably beautiful, kind of sensitive, smart. I'd like to meet one. And then Buffy's response is, don't you have a girlfriend? A girl is allowed to have her fantasies, Buffy. What a weird assumption, because it's not mentioned, literally, unless I read it, because they talk about being not, like, together in the very beginning. It's, like, a whole thing. See, all we're saying is we're not a couple. There's nothing bad here about her being a lesbian yet. So I'm not sure about that remark here. We'll have to see further developments. Maybe there's a girlfriend who's going to pop up. I'm okay with that. Oz is a very important character to Willow, but if they skip him, they skip him. Willow is mostly known for being a lesbian and falling in love with Tara, and if we get more Tara in this, I'm perfectly fine with that. She shows up in high school instead of college, even though it's such a big deal. Alright, moving on to Xander. Xander is a character that it's the same. He's the same exact stereotype. There's one thing I will mention. Hold on, I gotta get to it. We'll talk about in a second, just because it's really intriguing. It's one of the more intriguing sections of this whole entire issue. But Xander is still in love with Buffy. It's still his same exact trope that he had for a very long time. At least 13 episodes, 14 episodes maybe. It was Buffy, 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 and then he realized he couldn't have Buffy. He moved on to Cordelia, and then Willow. You know, he never really found anybody until Anya. Anya is coming in rather soon, rather quick. I think they're shoving too much into it. I'll talk about that at the end. But either way, that's basically a stereotype right now, is that he's in love with Buffy, and you definitely know he's in love with Buffy. They don't really try to sugarcoat it. One thing I want to mention is he's working on his laptop in this, like, one sequence where they're all hanging out. It's the first time ever hanging out, and that's the sequence I was talking about with the Willow and the witch thing. So he, Willow's like, oh, what can we do as normal? I don't understand normal. And he's like, alright, witch lover, let's talk pizza. And I just want to talk about how a lot of the segment is talking about graphic novels and superheroes and things like that. And so I feel like he's writing a comic book about Buffy that's a superhero. I have a feeling that's what this is. But I want to just briefly mention it because I think it was very, very interesting. So on the top here it says Zeppo. Zeppo is a very important episode in season 3. It's all about Xander. It's one of his more character type episodes. Normally don't hand them out very easily, but they handed it out to Xander. Very, very happy about that. But that section right there, I know I should be happy. Maybe I can be happy though, just around the right people. Literally popped up. It's right here. In this corner, up here, which ironically has a Xander, it says, I know I should be happy, and then like right after this, like I think maybe it's even after, you don't get to see the last part, maybe you can happy right, just around the right people. It's very interesting. I'm very, very intrigued by this. But Giles, on the other hand, he's just one noted at the moment. He's only briefly in it. I can show you an image of Giles as well. Is this. They do reference the fact that he's kind of like a watcher dad, which I liked because they do mention her dad a part of it, but like I said, not that very important. It was okay. And Joyce has a very brief cameo, which I enjoy to a point, just because I miss Joyce as a character. So I enjoy that and I think they did a very good job with making Joyce and Buffy look alike. So the last thing we're going to talk about, obviously, I'm pretty sure this right here is Anya, and she owns like a magic box type thing, which I don't know how I feel about either. And so yeah, so I guess we'll figure that out. And then the big bad that is coming, which I am very sure is Drusilla. So right now I'm going to talk about very briefly about predictions that I might have going forward. So I do know Spike and Drusilla will be popping up in the February issue. I don't really like any of this. I don't like the fact Anya's here yet. They haven't really done any development towards any of the other characters. Don't bring in too many characters. It's a problem. But my prediction is that this is Drusilla, and they're going to advance them from making them look old-timey to like new retro. That's my prediction. Yeah. Because the Amulet has a very big storyline towards Spike and Anya and things like that. So overall, like I said, this is a 4 out of 5. I think I'm going to enjoy it so much more when I read it next month, when I reread it to get, prepared for the issue on a month from now. So yeah, but guys, if you enjoyed this video, give me a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, hit the subscribe button, and of course, if you have read this, please, I would love to talk to you about it in the comments, or maybe Twitter me or whatever, I don't care, and I just love to talk to you guys about it. Alright, I'll talk to you guys soon.